The cunning wild boars not only devastate crops, but also expertly conceal themselves in treacherous terrain, challenging even seasoned hunters. To confront them, sharpshooters must prepare meticulously and engage in a relentless battle. Will they succeed in halting the advance of these destructive pests? Join us to witness the thrilling pursuits and ambushes that follow. And don't forget to pick the hunt that impresses you the most. A perfect ambush unfolds with gripping tension in the dense forest. Thomas, stationed in his pre-designated hiding spot, keenly observes every movement around him. Suddenly, a herd of wild boars lumbers into his line of sight. Without hesitation, a rapid burst of gunfire erupts, taking down the two fattest beasts. The rest scatter swiftly into the deep woods. Undeterred, Thomas gears up for the next pursuit, determined to ensure none escape to wreak further havoc. Venturing deeper into the forest, Thomas spots the silhouette of a panicked wild boar fleeing. Aligning his aim with the target's frantic path, he pulls the trigger. The shot rings out instantly, and the beast collapses unaware. A precise, decisive strike, eliminating yet another threat to this land. At another location, the chase reaches its fever pitch. From his hiding spot, the sharpshooter quickly spots two wild boars charging toward him. He swiftly assumes a ready stance, aligning his aim with the prey's movement. A gunshot cracks, dropping one boar instantly. Determined not to let the other escape easily, he signals the blockade position below. In less than a minute, another shot echoes through the forest, and the final threat is neutralized, putting an end to the devastation caused by these savage beasts. Leaving the dense forest behind, we move to the thickly wooded hillside where the savage beasts are hiding. Nick's hunting team arrived early, deploying a tight encirclement around the hill, determined to let none escape. Just minutes later, a gunshot rings out from James' position, the precise moment a boar emerges from the thick underbrush. A perfect shot hits its mark, and the beast collapses on the spot, unable to take another step. At the same moment, a wild boar suddenly appears in Nick's line of sight. A rapid volley of gunshots rings out, finally halting the beast's charge. A split-second delay could have let escape. Thanks to that decisive strike, this land is spared another threat. On the hillside now, Nick's team is primed for the next confrontation. Nick is assigned to the blockade position. Gunshots ring out relentlessly from the upper positions as the cunning wild boar weaves through the thick underbrush, dodging a barrage of bullets. Yet, with a seasoned skill and steely resolve, Nick successfully cuts off the beast's escape route. Do you think wild boar hunting is just a dangerous thrill deep in the forest? Think again. In Spain, it's actually a profession. The price for each kilogram of fresh wild boar meat can go up to 12 to 20 euros, depending on quality and season. So for hunters like us, this is more than just a passion or a way to protect crops. It's a livelihood. Today, our destination is a licensed hunting estate in Candeleta, a town in the province of Avila. We had our first encounter with the beast right on the way there. The wild boar didn't hesitate to charge straight at us. Realizing the danger, I pulled the trigger immediately. Just one shot, and the animal dropped dead instantly. After reaching the mountain, we released the hunting dogs, who quickly spread out and began tracking the prey. There it is. A fairly large wild boar dashed out in panic. Unfortunately for it, every step was already in our sights. Diego, one of our hunters, raised his rifle and fired decisively. The boar was hit, staggered, and collapsed moments later. While some members were stationed downhill, my partner and I climbed higher to assist Dante in flanking a boar. Thankfully, the dog pack had already done their job. All that remained was for us to aim carefully and pull the trigger. From the last spot, I moved a few hundred meters further. Alone in this desolate terrain, I couldn't help but stay on high alert, especially as the sound of barking dogs grew louder. My heart pounded, hands gripping the rifle tightly as Within 10 seconds, I fired several rounds in quick succession. What a rush. I quickly radioed the team to share the good news. Tension was high at Diego's post too. He was waiting for the boar to reveal itself under the dog's relentless pursuit. Oh my God, that was close. It was a heart-pounding moment. Fortunately, Diego took it down just in time. If you're inexperienced or without a team, you should never go hunting alone. Out here, just 1 second too late could cost you your life. Following a trail that climbed a few hundred more steps, the dogs barked furiously again. Nothing else it could be. Only wild boars roam this rugged forest terrain. I raised my rifle carefully, ears perked, eyes scanning every bush. Movement. A boar burst out, and I fired several quick shots. Gun smoke filled the air, but more importantly, the boar was down. This might just be the luckiest hunt I've ever had. The signal to regroup was already sounded. But I couldn't leave just yet. It seemed the dogs had found one last unfortunate boar. There, after all the searching, I took it down in just a few seconds. Even though hunting is a source of income for us, we always strictly follow wildlife and environmental protection laws. We only hunt legal species during the correct seasons and with it.
Gel. Gel 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 gel. Gel.
Wild boars used to be part of the untamed wilderness, but in recent years, they've bred at an alarming rate and quickly become a nightmare for the people of Colorado. From the forest edges, they've started appearing in large numbers across the fields, devastating crops, and causing increasingly severe damage. Faced with this reality, hunting is no longer just a sport. It has become a mission to protect the land, the crops, and the livelihoods of local people. Today's hunt was carefully planned, from weapons and ammunition to the hunting dogs. We began moving into an area frequently visited by wild boars, our heartbeats taut like drawn strings. Ahead of us lay a freshly harvested field, completely open and expansive, an ideal feeding ground for wild boars, but also perfect for an ambush. With nothing to obstruct the view, the first target soon appeared. A lone boar trotted along the edge of the field. I raised my gun. Took careful aim and pulled the trigger. After a few gunshots, the boar was hit and collapsed on the spot. The early success lifted our spirits, but to encounter more targets, we had to redirect toward the hilly area behind the field, where the rugged terrain showed heavy signs of wild boar activity. As soon as we arrived, I chose a high, open vantage point for better visibility. Oof. It didn't take long before the next target appeared. It dashed down a slope, tried to escape into a dense thicket below. Without hesitation, I raised my rifle, timed my shot, and squeezed the trigger. A volley of shots rang out. The boar was hit and rolled down the hill. After about an hour, we decided to move into a lower, flatter area to improve our chances of spotting targets from afar. The pack of hunting dogs now truly showed their value. With fewer obstacles in the terrain, they easily picked up scents and chased down prey. However, with sparse trees and fewer hiding spots, we hunters had to be extremely cautious and absolutely silent. Wild boars are incredibly alert. If we didn't stay well hidden, they could easily detect our presence and flee immediately. I spotted another boar. It charged out from the edge of a bush, only about 5 meters from my ambush spot. The situation was sudden and intense. I immediately raised my rifle and fired. A clean shot. The boar was hit, crashed into the dirt, and dust exploded into the air. Through the cloud, the boar lay motionless. The whole moment lasted only a few seconds, but it felt as tense as a confrontation with a fierce predator. The hunt wasn't over yet. Sensing a rare opportunity, I quickly raised my rifle and fired. The bullet struck straight into its neck. The boar staggered and collapsed to the ground without any chance to fight back. By afternoon, this time, I stationed myself at the edge of a bush, firmly gripping my rifle, eyes scanning for the slightest movement, ready for anything unexpected. Luckily, this ambush paid off with a generous reward. Time was running out for the day, so we made every minute count. Staying calm, I stepped back to maintain a safe distance, then raised my rifle and fired. A precise shot, the boar dropped instantly. New South Wales, the agricultural lifeline of Australia, generating billions of dollars every year. But now it's under siege by bloodthirsty wild boars. These beasts tear through the land, ripping up soil, destroying crops, and causing tens of millions in damage. To protect this fertile ground, hunters from across the country are mobilizing, and we're among them. The battle for survival has begun. Can we stop them before it's too late? Join us and witness the fight right now. 5 a.m. As the first light of dawn breaks the horizon, we load up our gear and climb into our trusty vehicle, rolling out toward the rendezvous point. The moment we arrive, the team immediately fans out, moving to our pre-planned hiding spots. 20 minutes passed, dead silence. Not a sound, not a sign. Then, just as I crouched behind a thick bush, a massive wild boar, easily 500 pounds, burst out of nowhere, charging just a few meters in front of me. A sharp crack of gunfire cuts through the stillness, followed by another. The beast crashes to the ground, motionless in the grass. A solid start to the hunt. In the next field over, Leon had also spotted his target. Finally, the herd appeared. Leon quietly chambered a round, locked onto his target, and pulled the trigger. A thunderous gunshot echoed through the field. The rest scattered, instantly vanishing into the brush in a flash. All that remained was a massive wild boar, motionless on the ground. But the hunt was far from over. With its open terrain, it was the perfect spot to track the beasts. And just as we predicted, a large group of wild boars had begun to emerge, tearing up the dry soil with their sharp hooves. Gunshots rang out immediately, but these boars were fast. Most of them managed to escape into the brush, leaving only a few bodies behind. We couldn't let those beasts get away so easily. I quickly radioed the team, marking the exact area that needed to be tracked. Just 5 minutes later, Leon spotted a big, heavy one weaving its way through the tall grass.
I like it!
Leon quietly raised his rifle, tracking every step it took and squeezed the trigger. One clean shot, the boar staggered, stumbled, and dropped to the ground. At the same time, on the eastern side of the field, Ram had also spotted the silhouette of a wild boar hiding in the dry brush. Several of them burst out in panic, trying to escape the hunting dogs. Gunshots cracked through the chaos clean, Precise dropping 2 boars instantly onto the grass. About 5 minutes later, another one charged out unexpectedly. Without a moment's hesitation, Ram brought it down with a single shot. Night was falling fast, and we rushed to track down the last of the stragglers. The field had fallen eerily quiet, only the sound of grass crunching beneath our boots. Suddenly, a wild boar burst through the undergrowth. It was fleeing from something, but it had chosen the wrong direction. A gunshot tore through the silence once more. The boar collapsed in the tall grass this time. It wasn't getting away. I never thought I'd see the day I'd have to pick up a gun and hunt wild boars. Until now, that had always been the job of professional hunters. As for me, I just wanted a peaceful life, plant some corn, raise a few goats. But then the boars came and tore through the fields right before harvest. Every night, we'd hear them digging, ramming fences, wrecking everything. I couldn't take it anymore. None of us could just stand by. Here in San Marcos, everyone now sees wild boars as public enemy number one. So we decided to organize a hunt to settle the score. After a night of tearing through the fields, the boars usually retreat into the forest to rest. So we head into the woods early, gun gripped tightly in one hand, the other pushing branches aside, and try to stay close to the sound of the barking dogs. Honestly, this whole thing is still pretty new to me, so every step is cautious. I can't afford to be careless. Suddenly, one of the dogs flushes a boar out of the bushes. No time to think, I raise the gun and pull the trigger. The first shot was rushed. The boar turned and ran. With the hunting dog right on its heels, it quickly tired out. That was all I needed. I fired again and claimed my first trophy. A few hundred meters later, I ran into Ashley, my teammate, at a gentle slope. Ashley pointed to the right. I looked over and was shocked to see a massive wild boar lying nearby. Before I could react, the boar suddenly leapt up and charged straight at Ashley. I only had time to shout, "Watch out," before firing repeatedly. Everything happened in a split second, but luckily, the gunshots scared it off. Ashley and I watched the direction the boar fled, our hearts pounding like they'd burst out of our chests. That was way too close. That thing must have weighed at least 120 kilograms. A single charge could have seriously injured, even killed a grown man. Still shaken from that encounter, Ashley and I soon came across another boar, just as big. We had to be more careful this time. We split up and took positions on either side, guns aimed forward. The moment the boar dashed between us, the air exploded with sharp, rapid gunfire. It should have been the perfect moment to take down another destroyer, but it all happened too fast. The boar, running it up to 40 kilometers h, managed to dart down the slope and disappear. Even so, Ashley and I didn't give up. We kept sweeping the area.
Biri kaldı.
Soon, we heard barking from the northwest. No words were needed. We both knew what that meant. After being charged by one boar and missing another, Ashley was fired up with rage. He rushed forward and with a single, clean shot, brought down the beast hiding in the dense brush. By mid-afternoon, the hunting dogs were still going strong. I have to say, I was incredibly proud of these buddies. Not only were they great at sniffing out wild boars, they also wore them out chasing them down. My job now was to finish the job. Bang! Another pest fell. A smooth, satisfying win. I don't know if it was luck or not, but even though we only ran in a solitary burst today, each one was huge, fat, and round. Just look at this one. It's got to be at least 100 kilograms. Looks like it had been chased so hard by the dogs, it had no strength left, not even enough to be wary of our guns. This one was easy. I aimed right behind its head and pulled the trigger without hesitation. It dropped on the spot. At another plot of land, Ashley and I continued to spot wild boars. This time, we silently split up and took our ambush positions. I gripped my gun tightly, eyes locked on the bushes ahead. I couldn't wait any longer. I fired a shot to lure the prey out. It took the bait, and there could only be one outcome, taking a bullet and collapsing beside the bushes.